Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Ran. In this channel, I share knowledge and practical techniques on trauma healing and everything about mental health. Today I wanted to talk about love addiction and fear of abandonment. I wanted to explain fear of abandonment in the angle of love addiction because all love addicts have this fear, have this deep-seated fear of abandonment, but not all people who have this fear of abandonment has love addiction. Love addiction is not an official diagnosis, but it's pretty self-explanatory. It shows that we become addicted to a person or the idea of relationship. We become obsessive about someone in a compulsive and urgent kind of way, with those intrusive thoughts, with those never-ending fantasies and ruminations about this person or the relationship. The first sign is that we get attached too quickly and easily. Oftentimes for the love addicts, we believe in stories like twin flames, soulmate, and love at first sight. But if we pick up people based on the idea of chemistry, based on the idea of that we have something so special, even though we're not really knowing this person, even though we're not really seeing who they are as who they are, we're projecting the fantasies of the idealized image onto this person. We are falling in love with the image that we want. We're not truly in love with their characters, with their qualities or merits. The reason that we bond really quickly is that if we give it time for this person to think it over, or us to think it over, we may not really be in love because we might see something that we don't like about this person. We might see the reality. If we bond really quickly, we fall in love with the chemistry, with the intense hormones, then we don't really have time to think it over. We can really ignore the red flags. We can really believe and convince ourselves successfully that it is working. This person is a special one, and I'm the special one for them. I'm the love of their life. So we're really not giving it time to filter what's reality and what's in our imagination, because of course subconsciously we're scared to see the truth. And the truth is that if this person is not what we think they are, we might lose this relationship. And this is where fear of abandonment comes in. We are scared of losing any kind of connection or relationship. We're scared to be the victim again, of being unwanted, of being tossed around. That's a very dangerous sign because for a traumatized brain, we're familiar with the chemistry of another traumatized brain. We are familiar with the dynamic of the relationship, unhealthy relationship dynamic, and we're convinced that it is something special. Despite that, our body, our brain, our emotions might tell us otherwise. The second sign is lingering fantasies about the partner or relationship. Love addicts often have this compulsive, intrusive ruminations and fantasies about the partner or the relationship. Either it's about something happening in the past. We may try to read over the messages we send each other. We may try to go over the sex scenes in our head. We may try to really just recall everything they said. And we are imagining things happening in the future, like we're gonna meet their parents, we're gonna have kids, we're gonna have vacations, to the point that those fantasies can interfere with our job, with our normal life. We may consciously avoid some friends. We wanted to retreat to our own world, right? We wanted to indulge in fantasies. And when we have those lingering thoughts, we're not rooted in reality, we're not grounded. It's like we're floating in the air, being with this person 24/7 in our head. The root of this is that we don't have personal boundary, we don't have a sense of self. We have to be in our head to stay connected with this person, to confirm who we are, to confirm that we're okay, we're loved, we're valuable. That's what we need to have the sense of self, which was supposed to be developed well as a child, but since we haven't had enough mirroring process, we haven't had enough engagement and emotional response from our parents, we still have this hunger, and we're using this person subconsciously to finish this mirroring process. In another video, I've talked about why we obsess about someone, about a relationship, and I think understanding it would really help us diffuse our shame towards this kind of involuntary behavior, towards this feeling of losing control, of losing who we are. And I'm gonna put it up here and you can check it out later. Third sign is that we fear being alone. In this, I don't really mean that we're afraid of being physically alone. Some of us are actually really good at being by ourselves, right? Being absorbed in our own bubble, in our head. But I'm talking about we jump from relationship to relationship. We're scared to be the state of single. We have to be addicted to something, someone, a relationship, a partner. Being by ourselves means that we're facing this profound emptiness that is so scary and so painful. That's why we use addictions as strategies to avoid this painful feeling. That's why we get distracted and addicted to love, relationship, sex, alcohol, drugs, compulsive shopping, spending, food. We're using all sorts of external things to be addicted to filling the void we feel deep down from this no sense of self. We don't know who we are. We don't know what we like, what we don't like, what our needs are, what is our purpose, what we want to do in this life, what makes us happy, what makes us fulfilled. We don't know that. We haven't explored that because we're scared to be by ourselves, to go through the painful stuff. But the freedom lies in facing the truth. For a sense of self, I also made a video. I'm gonna put it up here. You can check it out later if you're interested. The fourth sign is that we walk on eggshells in relationships. In order to not be abandoned, we have to constantly be hypervigilant, hypersensitive towards any signs of distancing, of rejection, of people not loving us anymore. So we're scared to shit, to be not loved. We micromanage their facial expressions, their moods, their emotions. When they're happy, we feel relieved. When they're upset, when they're angry, we attack ourselves. Well, like, did I do something wrong? I shouldn't have said that. I was so dumb. And then we figure we need to do something to make amends, to cheer them up, to make them happy, so that I could be okay, so that I can be shown that I'm still important, I'm still lovable to this person. One strategy we often use is that we start to please them. We comply, we just totally surrender to them. We give up our boundary just to make sure that we can keep this relationship alive. That's why we walk on eggshells around this person, which is not what healthy relationship is supposed to be, because we're supposed to get nurturance, we're supposed to get support and love from the other person. Instead, in love addiction relationships, we constantly monitor how we behave, what we say. We micromanage their reactions to who we are because we need to make sure that what we are right now is accepted by them so that I don't get abandoned by them. And we need to cheer them up. We need to really make them happy, and that's our responsibility. That's our job. That's what codependents are like as well. That's one core symptom, is that we take the responsibility for other people. We give up who we are. We adopt their identity, their definition of who we are, so that we can be okay. The fifth one is that we constantly need reassurance. The key difference between the securely attached and insecurely attached is that for the securely attached people, they have seen enough of the pattern that when maybe their parents leave, they know, well, I know you are leaving only temporarily. I know you will come back to me and take care of me. I know you will be there to meet my needs whenever I need you. I know this is a safe container kind of relationship. I know the world is safe. So I trust that you put my... While for the insecurely attached, we can become inconsolable because when parents leave, even temporarily, we start to get worried and anxious, preoccupied and not focusing anything at hand because we don't know if you're ever gonna come back. When are you gonna come back? When are you gonna leave again? And you're making me feel insecure and unsafe. I don't trust the world. I don't trust that my needs are going to be met by anyone. So in order to reduce our anxiety as insecurely attached, we need to constantly hear from this person. We need to constantly stay connected with this person, either in our imagination or in real life, that you will be there for me. You have to tell me that you still love me. You have to tell me that you put my best interest at your heart. You need to tell me constantly and remind me that you will not leave me. You have to promise me. and do exactly what you say so that I can be okay. To a point that we act in a needy way, and we hate ourselves for acting needy. We attack ourselves, we shame ourselves for being needy. But deep down, we feel bitter. We feel so scared and so painful. We need to understand the unmet needs of ourselves, the emotional hollow from the past, behind the surface behavior of neediness, because deep down, it's this wounded child crying for attention and healing. For this, I wanted you to watch my video, Neediness and Fear of Abandonment. I'm gonna put it up here. But we really need to have more compassion for ourselves. And the sixth one is that we have high tolerance for unhealthy relating. When we grow up in dysfunctional families, we are trained to have the superpower to really distort reality, to tell ourselves, to convince ourselves that everything's okay, it's normal, it's gonna get better soon, so it's tolerable right now, and it's not that bad, I can deal with it. And we can't seem to tolerate the emotional disconnection, the pain behind all that, because we see it, or at least we convince ourselves that it's normal. Our job is to not be abandoned, to keep this relationship alive at all costs. And that's how we're trained. But at the same time, we identify with being a victim. We identify with powerless, helpless. We identify with the damages that were done to us, with how we're treated, with our weakest points. We deny the fact that we have strength, we have personal agency to make changes, to move on, to leave this relationship. And the victim mentality really just gets us sucked back into this loop because we don't really believe we can leave and find a better one. And the last sign is overdependence on your partner. One thing that doesn't really make sense to a love addict is that maybe before meeting this person, before entering this relationship, we're doing okay. We know exactly how to take care of ourselves. We know exactly how our routine goes. We know what we need to feed ourselves in a healthy way. We know we need to exercise. We know we need to see our friends, to join social circles, to keep connected. We know how to accomplish something at work. We know how to arrange our life priorities. Once we enter this relationship, this ability to take care of ourselves becomes lost on us. We start to expect this person to do everything for us. We need them to remind us to take that medicine when we're having a cold. We need them to help us de-stress from work. We need them to care about us in a way that we originally could. And it's like we're just totally dependent on this person, like we are a child again. Like they're supposed to give us this unconditional love, caring and positive regards and attention. And they're supposed to spoil us. They're supposed to indulge us. We return to the state of being a child when we're stuck because of the traumatic event, demanding the love and care from an adult, from our caregiver at that time. We're not in this adult to adult relationship anymore. We enter this child to adult relationship. And that's why this dynamic is not going to work, because they are not your parents. It doesn't matter if it's this boy A or boy B or boy C. If they are the right person for you, if they are like securely attached, if they are good people, it doesn't matter who they are not your parents. And those needs can only be met by parents or the grown-up you trying to repair yourself through the process. They cannot be met by the partner bro, where they still have their inner wounds, they still have their inner needs that needs to be met. They cannot provide this unconditional love and attention and care as you desire. Alright everyone, I hope this video is helpful. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you wanted to see more videos like this, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.